There you go.
Yeah, I think it's a nice moody piece. You've got a feeling of loss and a feeling of someone thinking over their life. It might be a bit slow as he's moving out of the bed. I know he is moving slowly, but there's a moment where you're just going, how long is it going to take him to move across the room? So perhaps it could cut to other things quicker and just show him moving in between those cuts. I like the choice of music, it was good.
Yeah, I would agree with the music. As I said, I think the volume needs to perhaps be, because it's about it's fairly slow moving, and it's about a slow person that's perhaps not loud, and the volume needs to reflect that when the video is being played. It was very emotional. I did feel emotion in it, but I think that there's something slightly missing there in terms of wasn't really quite understanding whether he was missing his children and the childhood memories there that he had about his children being children, or whether he was missing his wife, or just the fact that he was maybe a bit sad about potentially not being active with them. Wasn't quite sure about what it was that he was specifically sad or lonely about. And it could have been a number of things. It could have been the children, it could have been his wife, or it could have just been the loss of his youth, perhaps.
So did you feel like that was enough for the opening sequence, or do you think that could progress over the film?
I think that perhaps as an opening sequence that would be really good, but I think perhaps later on in the film that would need to be clarified, and the story would need to be perhaps a little bit more specific about what his loss was.
So as an opening sequence, did you think that's effective?
But certainly emotional, and it kind of gripped you in the sense that you kind of wanted to know what that person was feeling, or why they were feeling like that.
What did you think about the variety of shots that I'd used?
I think there could have been, a couple more shots in that first bit when he's moving, switching his arm off and then moving through the room. That could have done with a few little, perhaps closing up on different things around the room or something, rather than just watching him moving there. But when I think that what was really good was as you scanned the wall looking at the different pictures, I thought that was really nice. You dressed that really well so that there were different frames and things that were from different periods of time, so I thought that was quite nice.
Did you feel like it needed any more background sounds? Because obviously we had the alarm clock and the walking frame.
I liked the quiet, the fact that it felt lonely.
Yeah, and actually it does reflect the loneliness there. It reflects the fact that there's not much in his life anymore.
There's an emptiness. There is sound that's missing, but I think that's a good thing. There's sort of poignancy to it.
How would you describe the character of Arthur, the main character?
From that you can't tell. You can just see that he's subdued, but you can't really tell what sort of person he is, other than, I suppose, the photos are showing that, actually thinking about it.
And do you think that's effective, or do you think dialogue would be needed?
No, I don't think dialogue would necessarily improve that at all. I think the fact that he's smiling when he's looking at the photos, because it zooms into the photos and then it comes back to his face, and then you can see him smiling. And so he's obviously very fond of those memories. He's obviously had a very nice time in those photos, so he's remembering that kind of good time.
If you had to say 3 main improvements, what would they be?
I think certainly the volume needs to be lower on the film. Now, whether that's just a manual thing or whether that is subsumed in the making of the film.
More level with the background sounds, you mean?
Yeah. I think perhaps a few extra shots. I think I agree with you, Becky.
Right. That first, the pace. I'd say that pace.
A little bit too long.
It's because you're with him. You can see that he's taking time to move, so you don't need to see every step he takes in that bit.
And then, for me, perhaps something a little bit more specific about why he might be feeling like he's feeling. What is it that he's? What is
why
it?
Is he looking at all the photos?
Yeah. Is it because of he's missing his children, who might be grown up and away and living in another country, or is it that he's missing his wife, or is it just that he's longing for that time when he was young and active and with his younger family again?
Okay, I'll take that into consideration. Thank you.
Thank you.